Hi everyone, welcome to BurningMonkey.net. In this tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how to use the Lasso and the Wand tool. So if you don't, or you're not familiar with these tools, they're right here. So this is the Lasso tool, and there's different versions of the Lasso tool. So you have the Lasso tool, then you got the polygonal Lasso tool, and the magnetic Lasso tool. And then you also have the Wand tool, which also has two different sets of tools. So you got the magic wand tool and the quick selection tool, and these two do similar things in different ways. It's the same thing with the lasso tool. So I'm going to demonstrate the lasso tool. So I have this image here open, and I'm going to double click this background to unlock the layer. And with this polygonal lasso tool, what I'm going to do is just this is good for when you have lots of edges, especially if they're straight edges. So I'll try to highlight this little part of the waterfall here. So if I wanted to cut something out, or let's say I was making a collage or some sort and there are digital magazines, this would give you that look as though you use scissors, and you'll see right now. So I'm just kind of going over. Of course you can zoom in and get like really detailed with this thing, and I'll show you what that would look like. So kind of in the pixels, and then you can go in slowly chipping and clicking through this to get a kind of like a better cut, to say the least. Anyway, so once you have your selection, let's say I wanted to cut this area out, and then you have to close the loop. And so in order to close the loop, you can either click up here and you can see a little circle where the cursor is, or you can double click and it closes the loop for you, and then you can press V on the keyboard or the move tool here and you can move it around, or you can press the delete key and I'll delete it. So you can see, I'll press L on the keyboard to go back to Lasso tool, and then if you don't want anything, you just double click, give you that warning there, and you just click OK. So as you can see, it's great for quick selections, especially when you have lots of straight edges. And now I'll show you the first lasso tool, which is just the lasso tool. This one is great for kind of like drawing a selection out. And then you can delete it, you can move it, same thing as the other. So all these tools, you can move them and manipulate them. So with that, let's say I wanted to just get this area here, you would have to go in, and of course you can zoom in again like I did before, and then draw slowly with the mouse, click and dragging, holding the left click. So you click, hold the left click and select whatever you want, and then let go. And once you let go of the unclick, you can move it and delete or whatever you want to do to that selection. Now this last magnetic lasso tool, this is great for when you have like a person and you want to kind of like highlight or remove them. A lot of these are done in like the memes, or cutting people's faces and putting them on other people's bodies, that sort of thing. This is great. So what you can see is that it kind of wraps itself around the object. As you can see, I'm not really clicking here. What happens when you click is you click and it creates a point, and then you can continue, and because this thing will automatically set points, but if, like for example, it's not getting an edge and you want a point here, you click it and it'll make a point, and then you continue drawing. And it's really nice because it'll just kind of like outline around with the object you want. So because there's a black stroke around this character and green, it uses the colors to differentiate and know, hey, there's a pattern or there's a object here, and you can use that to easily go through your character and select. See, and sometimes you get that where it kind of jitters out creating this little thing here. But that's fine because it's not that bad. You can just go back in and delete that afterwards. So it's not too bad, except for when it would, like, if it clicks in here, then that's not good. But other than that, you can go in slowly and you create your own points. Go add it by section is another great way with any of these tools, any of the selection tools. So it's great to just go in by section. So that way, if you screw up, it won't be a big deal. Alright, so now onto the wand tool. So the wand tool is fairly easy. So just click on the wand, and it's right here on the side, right under the lasso tool, and I'm using the magic wand tool. And what this allows us to do is select an entire selection of color. So this is all the brown, and it selected all of the brown. And as you can see, if I zoom in, it probably didn't select the stroke. So if I actually press the delete key, the stroke is probably still there. Yep, there it is, still there. And I'm going to go back. But the brown is not. So this is great when you have maybe a little patch you need to delete, or maybe some area you want to change. So for example, let's say I have all of this area here, and I'm like, I didn't like that color. I think I need to go back in and change it. I wanted maybe some dark blue. Go in there with the brush tool and just paint over it, and without even having to select or paint very carefully, you just painted the entire section. Same thing with the gray or any other area. You have to be careful. Right now I painted in layer 1, so I just gotta click back here, click on the gray, and you can start to paint on this. And one thing you have to note is that you can actually paint on the layer 0, so just be careful, because once you paint on that 0 and you didn't want that, it's gonna be annoying. So right now, if I control command D and I select the blue, now it might, this is good because it didn't select this blue because it's on this layer, but if I had this on the same layer, things could get bad. Then you could select the entire area, and if that's not what you wanted, then you'd have to redo the selections and whatnot. Then again, if you're skilled, you just paint up to where you want. So the wizard wand tool is good for all these editing small colors and just small details that you want to delete. So if I don't want this guy, you can just get rid of him and then go in with the brush and paint out the stroke, which wouldn't be as much work as getting rid of this entire guy. So that's pretty good. So now on to the other wand tool, which is the quick selection tool. This one is more of a color based kind of tool, so it'll grab whatever you selected. See, as you can see, you just click and hold the mouse, and it'll continue to grab whatever you selected. So right now it doesn't do a great job of selecting because it's using kind of an area, and this will also grab alright, so I've selected this area, and now I can continue to select, and it'll continue to select more, and it'll keep adding to your selection. So eventually, if you keep selecting, you might even be able to select an entire picture. So what is this tool great for? It's great for areas where you have one solid color, or areas where you have one solid shape that is defined, because it'll select it for you. So my preferred selection tool would definitely, my selection tool is the freehand, the lasso tool, and the wand is definitely magic wand. The magic wand tool is the one I like the most. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Just a couple tips on the selection and the wizard tool. I keep calling it the wizard tool, it's the wand tool. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Like, dislike, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.